Here's my audience. She's the one recording. Hello everyone. Do you ever wonder which credit cards to use and how they even got started? Credit cards are known to cause various problems for consumers if used improperly. By getting knowledge, you can change those problems into advantages. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, the average household holds approximately $10,000 in debt. First, I'd like to start with how credit cards came into play. According to creditcards.com, during the westward expansion in the 1800s, merchants would use credit coins and charge plates to extend credit to local farmers and ranchers, allowing them to forego paying their bills until they harvested their crops or sold their livestock. Randall, 2009, states, "The first thing to know about credit cards is that nobody stood up and asked the banks to invent them." In fact, when credit cards first came to appeared on the grand scale in 1958, it was because the Bank of America dropped 60,000 cards on an unassuming city of Fresno, California. This card is now known as Visa. In that same year, there was a second card introduced by Interbank Card Association, now known as MasterCard. There are two parties involved in making credit work: the consumer and the bank. As this fast-paced industry was increasing, there was some type of legislation needed to straighten out the complaints made by consumers concerning high interest rates and the bank fees. That leads me to talk about certain risks that are associated with having a credit card. The risks can be avoided through simple measures and using common sense. Looking at creditcard.org, credit cards are an indispensable way of life. With so many options available, one could get themselves into serious debt. So here are some tips to avoid some costly mistakes. Make sure you don't spend more than you make. In other words, don't try to keep up with the Jones and live high on the hog. Realize your wants and your needs. Make sure you pay off the credit card each month so you don't get socked with interest rates. And another one is pay on time. Make sure you pay at least something if you can't pay the card off in order to avoid the $35 late fee. If you find yourself in too much debt, hide the card for a while so you don't charge on it. Once you get it paid off, pull it out again if necessary. Lastly, use common sense. Credit card companies are by no means your friend and are in business to make money just as every other business. Budgeting, restraint, and personal responsibility are the keys to avoiding costly mistakes. According to credit.org, credit cards are convenient, and that's a good reason to have them. They are pocket-sized and easily portable, but they can be too convenient and lead people to impulsively buying stuff. It is very easy to swipe the card and buy the item in the moment. Truth is, we shouldn't be buying things we can't afford. There are several types of credit cards, but I'm only going to address three: regular credit card, secured, and retail. Regular credit cards are cards issued by a bank. They have a credit limit according to your income. There's no upfront deposit, and you can actually borrow money with them. There's a max amount that you can charge. You can also earn points on them with the amount of money you charge on the card. These cards have a very high interest rate. Secured cards or prepaid cards are cards that are secured by the amount of money you put on them. For instance, according to www.debt.org, if you deposit $300 on a card, then $300 is all you can spend. That is a good place to start building credit because it's backed up by a cash deposit, which is refunded after closing the account. Lastly, there are retail cards. These cards are issued by a retail merchant store for loan services. Say you want to purchase something huge, but you don't quite have the money to buy it, so you put the rest on a credit card. If you are new to using credit cards, take the time to learn how they work in order to avoid costly mistakes. Paying off debt shouldn't have to consist of living under a rock and eating ramen noodles for the rest of your life. In conclusion, with a credit card education, which you now have, and self-control, you can avoid credit retails or pitfalls and take advantage of credit card conveniences.